Hi, I'm Liz Sheehan, 5th District Council Member, and I'm here with Liz Fowler, President and CEO of Bluegrass Care Navigators. Thank you, Liz, for joining me today. I would like for you to start by telling me a little bit about this center where we are and when it started in Lexington.
All right. Well, first, I'd like to say thank you to you, all the council members, the mayor, and the team at Lexington Fayette Urban County Government. We are so appreciative of their support and your support, so thank you very much. So PACE stands for Program for All-Inclusive Care of the Elderly. And for individuals that come here, they must be 55 or older and meet all the requirements to live long-term in a nursing home. And our goal with this program is to let them live safely in their home and receive all their medical care and social services so that they can live in their homes safely.
So could you talk a little bit about how this differs from other home health programs or even adult daycare centers?
Sure. So the PACE program, we actually become the Medicare and Medicaid insurance plan. And we provide all the community-based services of the Medicaid program and all the medical services of Medicare and Medicaid. So when an individual comes here, they not only get the socialization and recreation activities here at the center, but they also get all of their medical care. And we coordinate that care very comprehensively with hospitals, with medical specialists, and others, so that we have the one team here that's coordinating all that complex care, because most of our participants have many chronic illnesses, and there's a lot of coordination that needs to be done. And our medical director will oversee all those medications. The team will provide the transportation they need to and from appointments. If they need a nurse to go with them to the appointment, they'll attend that. We also provide meals, recreation, physical therapy right here, occupational therapy, because we want people to be strong, healthy, keep good balance, and the team is regularly assessing them to see improvements, mitigate any changes in their health. It's a very comprehensive approach.
What I really like about this space is how homey it feels. So even though there are certainly medical facilities here, and you can kind of feel that in different spaces, especially with the OT on the other side, but I really like, the chairs are comfy, there's pictures on the walls, there are games around, there's things for people to do to have not just kind of like the services that they need, but kind of that like comforting space. So I really appreciate that. Do you want to tell us a little bit about some of the amenities in this building and what you've done here?
So the amenities here, it begins with a very welcoming front entrance, and we had a canopy added so that when people come in the wintertime, in the rain and the snow, they're dry and safe getting in and out of their vehicles. And we have a lot of socialization space, quiet rooms, but we also have a large therapy gym for recreational therapy, occupational therapy, physical therapy, and speech therapy. We employ a dietitian on the team, and we have a kitchen team that prepares nutritious meals here, as well as we will, if a participant needs help with preparing meals at home, arrange for healthy meals to be in their home. Activities, the team sometimes takes individuals out on the transportation vehicles, and the funding did provide a transportation vehicle for us to get folks to appointments and important recreation and socialization. As you know, social isolation is a key problem we need to mitigate with seniors to keep them healthy and engaged. So we have a large kitchen here. We have a wonderful outdoor space that, again, with fundings, we enclosed, so if we have someone that might be prone to wandering, it's fenced in and secure, and we added a ramp so that it's accessible by wheelchairs, and if we did have to evacuate the building, it's quick and safe. We're actually going to be gardening there this summer, so the participants can take the fresh food they grow home in the garden. We have a whole medical clinic with ultrasound machine that we purchased with the funding, so that most of the care and services, the preliminary diagnostic treatment, can be done right here on the spot in the center.
Do you have any like special memories or any other like things that have happened here or things that you have seen that you would like to share?
I'll give you an example of one of our participants, and Pace has really changed her life. She was living alone. She didn't have family or friends in the community, and her health was very, very poor. And she joined Pace one fall, and by Thanksgiving, she had learned that another participant here was a distant cousin. And for the first time in years, she had someone to have Thanksgiving with. And because of now she has family, she has friends, the comprehensive health care team, she's more mobile, she's able to navigate in her home safely and live there safely. She was really at risk of having to move to an institution for the rest of her life. And when you can see that individuals changed lives, you just know we're doing the right thing in healthcare and supporting them in the community.
Wow, that's such a great story. How can people find out more about Bluegrass Care Navigators or the PACE Center?
They can see us on the internet at bgcarenav.org. And PACE is on there, as well as all our other programs and services.
Well, thank you so much for speaking with me today and for all of the services that you're providing.
Thank you. And again, thank you to the council and to the mayor and city government for supporting us with this endeavor to help seniors live healthy in the community and in their homes.
I'm now here with Jen Warenma. She's from our CAO's office at LFUCG, and she has been managing our American Rescue Plan Act funds for the city. And that is part of the funding that went to some of the restoration or innovation that has happened here. Yes. So why don't we start with American Rescue Plan Act funds. We've called them ARPA, so we might defer to them as ARPA from here on out. But tell me a little bit about the funds and what you see as the impact of those funds.
Absolutely. So back it was probably mid-pandemic, the federal government allocated cities and states millions of dollars to help our communities recover from the COVID-19 pandemic, get through it and recover from it. Lexington was awarded $121 million with certain caveats. There were certain folks we needed to help. There were certain types of projects they wanted us to do. They also allowed us to do some government services with that funding because of lost revenue. So we did a pilot program, which is what Bluegrass Care Navigators PACE program benefited from, was a nonprofit capital grant program. So we piloted this program because we knew our nonprofits had taken so much work on due to the pandemic. They were helping infants all the way up to our elderly population and everything in between, from food security, medical, mental health, substance abuse, you name it. So what we wanted to do was give them an opportunity to apply for funding to help do infrastructure improvements in their facilities. This is something Lexington had not done in the past. And so the council and mayor allocated over $6 million to this effort here in Lexington.
Yeah, I know we have in the kind of standing budget our extended social resource program, but that really does fund like programming and kind of intervention or assistance in that way, but not the actual like capital improvements.
That's exactly. And when we did our request for proposals, we received over $20 million in asks, which really I think showed both the ARPA team and our elected officials there's a major need here in our community. And so through a pretty intense process of selection, we then awarded about $6.4 million out into the community. And I'm happy to tell you that 90% of that has already been expensed, which really shows you what the need was.
Yeah, and we, for the ARPA funds, because it was federal funding at a certain time, like we had a very tight deadline for these funds. So it is a credit to you on keeping track of all the projects that have come through, whether they've been internal or external projects. And keeping us all on our deadlines, because it's a big undertaking.
It is a big undertaking. So we, the federal government is requiring all of our funding be obligated by the end of the year, end of 2024, and then spent by 2026. And so with the expedited expensing of these funds, we know we're going to more than hit that deadline. And we're happy because all of that investment is out in our communities for people to really utilize. So it's been just a fantastic program.
Well, and I think some credit goes to the administration of it. But I know we've gotten some attention for that. Like we've been mentioned and seen across the nation as one of the cities or municipalities who have effectively used those funds.
That's at 100%. There's been various articles and entities that have reached out to us about various projects around, among all of the ARPA spending categories, and they really looked at the programs as innovative and hopefully something that can be replicated across the country.
Yeah, and one of the things that I like is it has given us, when we started all of the ARPA conversations, we asked for the public to give us ideas on how we wanted to, how they wanted us to spend the money or things they wanted us to look at. And I feel like that's given us a list that becomes a long-term like ideas list of like when we are thinking about what are the next things we do, as we do have resources available, we now have kind of this crowdsourced pool of information.
We do. The response to the survey really was phenomenal, and sometimes I'll go back and look at the spreadsheet and I mean 1,000 ideas that were sent in to us and says these are the needs we think our community has, and we have this chance of a lifetime with this funding. So let's go ahead and use it in the way that most benefits our community.
Yeah, and then some of those have already turned into more permanent programming for us. So the nonprofit capital grants that we were able to award from the ARPA funding, we have now started to put into our regular budget because we identified a need and we're able to meet it.
And we're able to meet it.
Yeah, so I'm excited about that piece.
I am too, and I think that our nonprofit partners are excited as well because, as you mentioned, we've had this long-standing programmatic program and funding opportunity, and now where we can help them with some infrastructure needs. I think both were major needs in the community, and both of those programs coupled together are really helping our external partners.
So now where can everybody go to find out more information about all of the American Rescue Plan Act funds and projects and the data that we're even talking about from before? Where's that?
So we are required to keep a very public-facing, robust website about the American Rescue Plan Act. So folks can visit www.lexingtonky.gov/ARPA. And I've been trying to do a quarterly infographic highlighting programs in the community, but in addition to that, all the required reports are on there. So if you have time to read 300-400 pages and you want to, or you can just click to a program that might interest you and learn more about it.
Well, and I like some of the mapping features that are on the website too, where you can see, all the different projects spread out throughout the community. It's really kind of interesting to picture them that way.
It is, and to that point, we have something in every council district in our city, which I think is a major, the council members and our elected officials should have major kudos for. It's a major accomplishment.
Well, thank you for all of
You're
your
welcome.
work. I appreciate it, and I know it's had a huge impact to our community.
Agreed. Thank you.
So I hope that you take the time to go find out more about how we have used our American Rescue Plan Act funds, and then more about the Bluegrass Care Navigators PACE program. Thank you.